What's up, guys? Today I played Regis, a deck you may be familiar with. Something I am very well known for in the Pokemon TCG. Basically, if you guys are unfamiliar, Regis has an ability called Ancient Wisdom. And what this card reads is that if you have all 6 Regis, so kind of like getting, the Power Rangers, the Avengers, whatever you want to call it, the Infinity Stones assembled, Regirock, Registeel, Registeel, LAKEY, and Regidrago, you can accelerate 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Now, this card used to be really good when we had Twin Energy and other special energies that would really work with this, with Path to the Peak, so you can just get all 6 into play and work that way. However, we don't have those rainbow energies and stuff anymore. Game is a little bit different now. We have the whole gang still, but the idea is now we use Pikachu as our attacker with the Resolute Heart ability and Topaz Bolt for 300 damage. Radiant Greninja is also in the deck as a huge attacker with the Moonlight Shuriken attack. Bundle to push the active out of there. Squawk ability is our primary turn 1, just ditch and draw. 3 Cypher Maniacs code breaking basically just gets us that turn 2 Precious Trolley Area 0 Underdepth setup almost every game. It's very consistent at doing so. 2 research on the turns we don't want to use Cyphers. Iono for that late game Hail Mary. 1 boss to basically just take 2 prizes at some point in the game if our opponent's just pushing 1 prizers. 4 Nest, 4 Stretcher, pretty consistent at what they're supposed to do. 1 Trolley, 2 Ultra, makes sense as well. 3 Shoes, just keep digging deeper, putting stuff in the discard. Vessels, 3 Vessels, they're very, very good. Find them early. Helps put energies in the discard. Attachments are good. Keep in mind, Pikachu discards 3 energy, not all energies. So you keep stacking energies on your Pika. Trolley is the most broken card. Feels so sad when it's prized. 4 Area 0 Underdepths. 2 Grass, 2 Lightning, 2 Metal, 2 Water, 1 Luminous. Luminous can work with all of these. Just acts as like a free +1. Also lets us attack with Drago if we need to. We have Drago, Steel, Aleki, Pikachu as our attackers. If I was, I guess, concerned about another matchup, maybe I would have put a Fighting in, which I probably should have for today. I'll get to that part in the cup. And 1 Mist Energy. The Mist didn't do anything today, but the Fighting would have done a lot today. So yeah. So today was a League Cup. I ended up getting... so I go to the League Cup, by the way. It's today, weekend before Christmas. Expecting League Cups to be pretty small across the board. People are coming home for the holidays, whatever in general. The League Cup today, there was 3 cups today. So the cup that I went to is capped at 16. The cup that I was going to go to was also capped at 16, and another cup was $30 entry. So I figured no one's really going to go to the $30 entry one, except for a couple players who did DM me that they were going to go to that one. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go there and try to contest. Lo and behold, a lot of them did not end up going. That cup had 7 players across all divisions. The cup that had 16 cap, that's close to me, like a 20-minute drive, ended up having a bunch of no-shows apparently, so it was also a small one. Cup that I go to, 17 people show up, so we decided to let another person play, resulting in like 1 person getting a bye each round. 13 Masters, 3 seniors, 1 junior, and because the 17th person, a 5th round flags, it triggers. So now a 5th round it gets to play into top 4 cut. So I think maybe the 5th round already triggers at 13. I'm not exactly sure. I know they changed the numbers a little while ago, but yeah. So now we are there. I'm playing Regis. It's a funny deck. I figured, we'll see what happens, how it goes. Round 1, I end up hitting Doug. He's playing... He mulligans, immediately showing me a Dragapult and a Hydreigon, the middle stage of the Hydreigon, Zweilous, I think. And I was like, what is happening here? I don't really know what to expect. He turn 1 gets to Trolley, sets up his board, retreats into Thorns. And I was like, oh, it's Thorns... Hydreigon, Dragapult. This is a terrible matchup. I probably lose this. He retreats into Klefki, sorry. And I went Greninja attach pass, basically, like with my setup. I just go get another attachment, put it on Greninja once again. He goes draw, pretty much bricks, hits me for 10 with Klefki. I attach again, and I just blow up the Dino and one of the Dracloaks that he TM Evos into. He does the whole thing again, gets into Pult. I am able to 90 the active and pop another Dreepy on the bench. And then I Pikachu the Dragapult, and the game basically ends there because he can't respond. But I think if he was smarter about it, he would have gone into the Zweilous off the Evo, which has 100 HP, and I can't Greninja that, and then the Zweilous becomes Hydreigon. Hydreigon attached to Hydreigon. Crispin, attach again. Obsidian, game ends, and I can't win ever. So, a little bit of an interesting game. Round 1 at a cup, but it is a cup. It's best of 1. We're all learning each other's decks still. Round 2, I end up hitting... a Thorns Draga again, actually. A second Thorns Draga in a row. My opponent has a pretty slow start. I end up getting the turn 2 Greninja off, killing 2 Dracloaks. He gets the turn 1 Arvid into like 4 Dreepy, Toad School, pass kind of thing. I kill both Dracloaks. He ends up throwing up the Thorns, kind of passes there. I Pika blow it up. No real response. I Pika blow up one prize that gets put into the active. No response in the game ends. So a little bit of a brick on my opponent's side. Hit an Arven off the first gear, and then after that it was just nothing, no gas in the sails. Round 3 I end up hitting another Thorns Pult. So my third Thorns Pult of the day. I think there was only 3 people in the room playing it. End up hitting a third, wonderful. This one I end up full bricking. I realized that Toad Scroll is really bad for me in this matchup as we're playing, because once the Toad Scroll is established, I can no longer get back to Regis with Stretcher, and I don't play Rod, so I don't actually have an answer into this deck. Like, today would have been a great day to have one Rod. Today would have been a great day to have a fighting, as you guys can tell with my matchups. I end up losing because I had to discard a LAKEY early, and then Toad Scroll came down, and I never was able to get the other LAKEY out of my prize card, so I just got stuck, and I was like one turn basically off of blowing up his Dragapult and putting myself in a position where I can't lose. But because of the Toad Scroll, I miscalculated and played pretty poorly. This cup I just played bad. I got nothing to say. New deck, funny deck. I just played bad. I didn't really expect to play against this many Thorns Pult across the day also, which is I feel like a terrible matchup for this deck. It's really, really hard to win that matchup. It's really hard. So now I'm 2-1. I end up pairing into Cloth, which is also a bad matchup. Cloth is pretty bad because they can out-tempo you. They can one-shot your Pika. You have to use Pika to one-shot their Terapagos. You can Greninja their Cloth, I guess, but they don't have they don't have to poison it. But they can also just switch card out, do whatever, He goes in with the Cloth. It's the first KO. I end up passing with something in the active. He KOs that as well. Cloth now has a ton of damage on it. I own it at 4. Put the Stadium down finally. Pop his active. And pop a Petrance on the bench. Oh no, I put 90 on Squawk. He throws up Petch, draws, doesn't really get any steam. Ends up passing with Petch with the poison. I end up switch carding and going ahead and using Ciphers. Unfortunately, the boss was in my hand, so I couldn't Ciphers the boss at the top and basically just effectively checkmate the game. But I ended up putting switch card and something else on top. I end up basically getting the 90-90, taking out the Petrant and taking out the Squawk ability now, so I'm down to 2 prizes. He's still at 4. He whiffs the attack once again off an Iono to 2, and then and he concedes, but he asked me if I had it beforehand. I was yeah, I did have the boss ahead of time, and I also had the Ciphers in hand, so I would just give you a 1 prizer, Ciphers the boss at the top, Stretcher boss basically, and just pass, because then I just get my my Reggie setup going, and I can just attach to Pico once again, and then the game ends basically because I have guaranteed boss the following turn with Pico. So now I'm 3-1. I guess I could ID into cut at this point, but it's looking a little foggy as to what's going to make it, what's not, because people are pairing up, pairing down into seniors, whatever, and so I just play. It's Lugia. I end up playing it. I get the turn to Iron Bundle kill on his only Lugia, and the game basically spirals from there. I miss a mid-game boss, which would have been really good, or a mid-game Stretcher for Bundle as well, which would have been really good to just take 2 prize cards. And then I end up winning it anyway, so I'm 4-1. The top 4 cut goes up. I'm up against the High Dragon Dragapult player from round 1, so probably my worst matchup in the room, unironically. Game 1, he makes me go first. I have a blisteringly fast start, where I get everything on board, get a Greninja loaded up. He ends up bossing Regigigas and passing with Thorns active. I slam a Research, miss the switch cart, but I have 2 energy in the discard. I hit Shoes, I hit the energy, or I hit Vessel, everything off the Shoes, and I was sick. Take the Vessel away a card, get 2 energies, Ultra Ball away the energy in my hand, put something irrelevant in my hand, retreat the Gigas, and just blow up his Dino and Dreepy on the bench with Greninja. And at this point, he just has a Thorns, and he draws and then passes with the Thorns, so I just retreat and blow him up with Pika. Game 2, I have a super slow start, where he opens Thorns, and for 3 turns in a row, I am Dragoing for 1 or 2 cards, looking to just blow up this guy. I just need to find 1 energy. I have a Luminous already on the Pika. I have a Grass already on the Pika. Might have been a mistake here. Should probably have been attached him to Drago. I just chose not to. And I end up whiffing. He ends up getting set up. Finally gets the TM Evo, gets an Arven, gets set up, gets in a double Dragapult board, and so I never have a way to take those last 2 prize cards. I get down to hitting his active with Greninja, all that stuff, and then I can't end the game ever. Like I can never take those last two prize cards because he just wins no matter what I do. And then the final game in the series, I open my opening hand is like 3 energies, 2 stadiums, and like a Reggie. And so I open like ice. I go Reggie Gate. I choose second also because I feel like it's probably correct. His deck is kind of a pile. Maybe I just blow it up before he gets to play the game with no Arven. And he opens Toad School, Ultra Balls for Thorns, Attach Retreats. And then I end up just Regigating 3 turns in a row. And then I end up stalling a little bit with Boss Something and Snipe with a LAKEY. And then eventually, like, it's 5-1 prize cards. Or 5-2. And time gets called. And I'm trying to make a play because I have double gates in play now. And in my mind, I'm thinking I gotta put a mist on my Pikachu on the bench. And I just, like, because time got called, I just, like, full brain farted. And I just didn't do that. And so I was turn 0 and I was attacking with, like, Steel this turn. Or Ice. Or I don't remember which one. And I was gonna just put the mist on the bench. And be preemptively ready for the next turn blow up. And I had, like, a game plan in mind because he had a Thorns. And that's it on the board. It was, like, a Thorns and a Toad Scroll. And that was his entire board. And I was like, he's down like 9 energies. There's no shot he's going to be able to power up another guy. 2 Crispin are gone. Like, or 3 Crispin were gone at this point. Like, he was just playing Crispins for fun at some point. And I was like, I just don't think he can power up another Dragapult. And so the Thorns will get to take 1 more prize card or hitting him a Pika. And the game ends right there. And so I had it all lined up. And then time got called because it was like a 50-minute top cut. And it just like threw me off balance. I didn't attach the mist. He attacked, put the damage on a Pika. I can't use Pika as an attacker anymore. Game ends, you know? Couldn't really win from there. Time regardless, like, it ends. Like, he's at 1 prize, I'm at 5. I can't even take anything. I think my 1 prize was like a turn, like, 7 snipe with Reggie, like, yeah, on like a Cloak. But yeah, Reggie was fun. Really cool deck. Shout out Lockyer for building this list. Charlie Lockyer, genius guy. Really enjoyed the deck. Don't think I'd ever take it to a big major, but funny deck is off the is checked. My 3rd cup finish is a top 4, so I have 2 wins at top 4, 1 open as well. So eventually, I think I'd be able to replace these and do something better with them. I would like to do that sooner than later, because last year I did. If you guys remember, if you're following my journey, I lost my top 16 berth for Worlds because of goofing off at cups too much. So I'm going to try to get my cups done, and then you guys can pick some funny decks for me to bring to challenges or cups or whatever. So hopefully you enjoyed this. It's a fun deck.